Better have your shit together, because this may be the end of what we see when it comes to Martell Holt if you do not beat these charges. Nobody's taking any type of chances with anybody that has anything linked to anything that even alludes to abuse on women. And so it's just, to me, it's not part of his character. I just think she's upset, and she has a right to be upset, and she's scorned. I get it, but and he's still with Ariane, and so yeah, I would be petty too. Ariane took him from her all them years, and so now she's gonna take him from Ariane in the world. So it's tit for tat. That karma, you don't have a date on how that karma is returned, and so Martell just gonna have to eat this one. So y'all want to pray for him? Pray for him. If you don't, send him to hell. Okay. Here's his mugshot though. First. Yeah, there you go.
All right, let's dive into this. Imagine how quickly life can spin out of control when someone spends more energy trying to control a story than actually fixing their real issues. That is exactly what's happening right now with Martell Holt. What started as just another round of reality TV drama has grown into something much deeper, something heavier: legal fights, public embarrassment, and nonstop tension. At the very heart of it stands Melody Shari. She's calm, collected, stylish, and careful with her words. She doesn't need to scream to be heard. She'll drop a short message, a quiet gesture, or even just a little shade, and the impact is louder than anything Martell posts online. Meanwhile, Martell keeps moving in circles, still playing the victim while refusing to accept the consequences of his own choices. If you're a fan of Love Marriage Huntsville, you already know how messy things can get. But this isn't the usual reality show mess. This isn't about a fight on set or a loud disagreement at a reunion taping. This is about real court documents, real decisions from judges, and real consequences that stretch beyond television ratings. Back in May 2024, Martell Holt was officially found guilty of third-degree domestic violence. Not only that, but he was also found guilty of sending harassing messages to Melody. This wasn't a slap on the wrist. The court ordered him to complete intervention programs, handed him a $500 fine, and placed him on 12 months of probation. He even had a 30-day jail sentence that was put on hold. The court also gave Melody something that isn't granted lightly: a no-contact order. Judges don't hand those out for nothing. It meant that what happened was serious enough to protect her from further harm. Most people would have taken the punishment, done the work, and tried to move forward. Not Martell. Instead of learning from his mistakes, he chose to appeal, and that's when things got even messier. Fast forward to August 2025. The circuit court confirmed the original ruling. The charges remained the same, the probation stayed in place, and the consequences didn't change. In other words, the court said, "We meant what we said the first time." At that point, Martell could no longer hide behind excuses. He had a legal history. He couldn't pretend this was a misunderstanding. And with a custody trial scheduled for October, that history mattered more than ever. When you have 4 children, your actions aren't just about you anymore. In Alabama, courts take domestic violence extremely seriously. A proven history of abuse or harassment doesn't just affect your reputation, it affects your custody rights. This is exactly where Martell finds himself. On social media, he posts about being a devoted father, sharing Bible verses and motivational quotes. But legal documents tell a different story, and fans aren't ignoring it. The internet doesn't forget. Screenshots, court records, and timelines exist, and now viewers are starting to piece everything together. People notice the contradictions. One day Martell is preaching about family values. The next, he's mocking Melody or flaunting his relationship with Ariane Curry as if nothing happened. That type of selective posting may have worked years ago, but audiences are too sharp now. They see the gap between his online persona and his real actions. While Martell is busy defending himself online, Melody is quietly doing the opposite. She's following the law, protecting her kids, and building her career. Every now and then, she'll drop a comment that slices deeper than a full-blown rant. Like the time she told Martell to stop playing games on Instagram and focus on getting Ariane her own car. That wasn't just shade, it was precise, like a surgeon cutting through the noise. The next day, Melody was seen driving her Range Rover, smiling, and going about her life. No chaos, no shouting, just a small reminder of who truly moved forward. Here's the problem with Martell. He keeps playing the same game. Every post, every appeal, every passive-aggressive caption, it's all part of the same cycle. He believes people don't notice, but they do. You can only cry victim for so long before people catch on that your words don't match your behavior. Right now, Martell's actions matter far more than his Instagram captions. He wants to be seen as the heartbroken father fighting for his kids, but at the same time, he uses those same children as props to get likes online. He poses with Ariane Curry, the same woman tied to the breakdown of his marriage, while trying to stop Melody from sharing too much of her own life. It looks less like parenting and more like control. Fans are tired of it. They see the double standard. Martell wants freedom for himself, but silence from everyone else. It doesn't end with social media. In court, Martell uses the same tactics. Every new motion, every appeal, every delay, it keeps Melody tied to him. It forces her to show up, to respond, to relive old battles. On the surface, it looks like legal action, but underneath, it feels more like manipulation. It's not about fairness. It's not about what's best for the kids. It's about power. And every time, it chips away at the peace Melody is trying so hard to build. What makes this even harder to watch is the silence from people closest to Martell. His mother, Marlene, has stood by him through every scandal. She has never once told him he was wrong. She has never publicly apologized to Melody on his behalf. That silence speaks volumes. It protects Martell's ego, but it also enables his behavior. Contrast that with Melody. She had every chance to spill details about their marriage, to drag him through the mud, to share every ugly moment. But she didn't. She chose dignity. She filed her paperwork, kept her kids safe, and kept her focus on peace. When Melody does throw shade, it isn't loud or messy. It's quick, clean, and rooted in facts. Like when she pointed out that Martell drove Ariane around like a teenager who couldn't manage on her own. It wasn't just a clapback, it was a sharp reality check. The biggest impact in all of this isn't on the fans, the bloggers, or even the show. It's on the children. They're not little anymore. They can sense tension. They notice when one parent creates calm and the other stirs chaos. Kids don't care about Instagram captions. They don't remember who posted the prettiest family pictures. They remember who stayed steady when life got hard. And right now, Melody is giving them that consistency. Martell, on the other hand, is chasing likes instead of stability. The sad truth is this: Martell still believes he's in control. He thinks that if he keeps posting, people will buy the image. But the audience has already moved on. They've seen behind the curtain. Every polished caption just proves how far he is from reality. Meanwhile, Melody has built something lasting. She's earning quiet respect, not just as a TV personality, but as a mother. She doesn't need to prove herself online. Her actions already speak for her. Fans are even noticing the change in the show itself. Love and Marriage Huntsville doesn't hit the same way without Melody at the center. Viewers say it feels too staged, too forced. Her subtle shade and calm energy were what made the show feel real. Without that, it feels flat. Ariane Curry is caught in the cycle too. While Melody is showing independence and growth, Arian appears stuck in the passenger seat, literally and emotionally. The contrast is obvious. Melody drives her own path. Arian gets driven around. One woman represents control, the other represents dependence, and Martell is still stuck between them, pretending everything is fine. The most heartbreaking part? The long-term effects on the kids. They'll grow up remembering who created chaos and who created calm. They'll recall which parent put them first and which parent used them for attention. No Instagram post or courtroom strategy can erase that truth. When those children are old enough to read the documents, watch the clips, and see the patterns for themselves, the reality will be undeniable. Melody doesn't need to explain. Her choices already show who she is. She's focused on growth, stability, and peace. Martell, meanwhile, keeps circling the same problems, refusing to move forward. In the end, the story is simple. One parent chose growth. The other chose control. And while the cameras may keep rolling and the Instagram posts may keep coming, the truth is already clear. For the kids, for the fans, and for everyone watching, actions speak louder than captions. Melody chose peace, Martell chose drama, and when the dust settles, only one of those choices will stand the test of time. Melody keeps moving forward with peace, while Martell stays stuck in old cycles. The truth is clear, and no post can cover it up. In the end, actions speak louder than words. Stay tuned for more updates, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.